Hello and welcome back to Bunix Investment Group, and today we are going to be talking about a very simple strategy that can help you to actually predict the market. Yes, you've heard me right. You'll be able to predict the market, make proper anticipations, and actually expect where the market will take you next. But before we jump into the whole video, please make sure you check out our free signals Telegram channel. The link is right below. I'll be glad if you click as well the notification bell icon if you have already subscribed to this channel, and if you haven't, please consider hitting that red hot subscribe button. So the method that we are going to be talking about is basically a wave method. There have been a lot of copyrights around the exposure of that method, and I'll be trying to hide some of the copyrighted material around the method. So basically I'll be talking it as a modified Elliott wave theorem. I'm sure you've actually heard about the Elliott wave theorem, where we have waves that make up the market structure. So basically these are the derivation of everything that we are going to be talking about. And the first thing that this method to do is to start on the daily time frame, which is basically the higher time frame. Don't worry, we are going to be on the charts so that I'll explain it further. Then on the daily time frame we go to the H4 time frame, and from the H4 time frame we go to the H1 time frame, and at this time frame, that is where we actually start to seek opportunities to actually get involved in the market. So without wasting much of the time, I'm just going to rub out a few facts before we jump onto the charts. So the first thing that we have to know, and the first thing that I have to highlight before we go deep, is that on the daily time frame we anticipate to see three waves of the H4 time frame. So one wave of the daily time frame is equivalent to three waves on the H4 time frame, and one wave on the H4 time frame is equivalent to three H1 waves. So basically that's how these time frames actually interlink. The smaller time frames builds up the higher time frames, and so on. So we are going to be using US dollar against the South African rand, which is basically USD against ZAR. So what we want to achieve on this pair is to actually anticipate where the market is going to take us next. So the first thing that we have to do is to go on the daily time frame to see which number of waves do we have and how many waves have we actually been issued. So I'll be using the rectangles, which is basically available on most trading platforms, whether the TradingView, whether investing.com or MT4, MT5. These technical analysis tools are available. So on the daily time frame we can see that we had the initiation point, which is this one. So I am going to use white rectangles for the daily waves. So we had the initiation point, which I am going to mark out with a bold rectangle. This is the initiation point. So that is where we are actually going to start our wave counting. So from this point we can see that the market had a direct drop from this point to that point. And from this point we can see that there was no drop of the market. How can you see that? You can actually use the horizontal line. You can see that from this point, the market was actually in the same zone, meaning that we had a zone of consolidation. We did not have any wave in this zone. So let's continue with the marking. So from the first point to this point, we had a drop. So this was the first daily drop or the first daily wave. So from this point up to this point, that is where we said it was a zone of consolidation, and our initiation of our second daily wave actually started from this point. So I'm going to drag this SIM2, and it ended at this point. So from this point, as you can see, this point and this point, we had basically the same scenario that we had at this zone. So if we use this horizontal line, we can see that we also had a zone of consolidation, which is there was no drop. Right, so we now have two waves of drop on the daily time frame, and to actually complete the cycle of the waves, we need 3 waves. As I have said already, that in each daily wave we expect to see 3 H4 waves, 3 H4 waves, and we need to see 3 H4 waves to complete the last daily wave. So how are we going to have that? This is where we can see that we actually initiated our last wave, as you can see. So this is the zone that I am anticipating to see the market going. So for proof's sake, we need to mark out the H4 waves in each daily wave that we have drawn. So we are going to mark out the waves in each, so that we would see if the last daily wave is actually complete. As you can see, this is the second daily wave, and I am going to use red rectangles to mark out the H4 waves. So we had the first one, and as you can see, this was all consolidation, right? The first one was basically from this point, and there was consolidation up to this zone. Why did I say so? I told you earlier before that you use the horizontal line, and you can see that the second wave actually initiated at this point. So I am going to mark out this zone. Then the second wave actually started from this point, and all this was also consolidation as well. As you can see, we had a drop or a wave, and we had consolidation, and then we had the last wave, meaning that this daily level, this daily wave, was actually complete. You can see that we had 3 levels or 3 waves of the H4 within this daily wave. So what's next in our analysis is we now need to see 3 H4 waves within this last daily wave. So as you can see, we had the first drop, right, a pullback, then the second drop, then here we are now going to verify if we now have the last H4 wave is complete. So we are going to mark out. This was the first H4 wave, then the second H4 wave, right? So we need to verify on the H1 time frame to see if we now have a complete wave. So as you can see, we now have two complete waves on this last daily wave. So what are we now expecting? Let's verify with the H1 time frame to see if this wave is actually complete. Right, then going on the H1 time frame, we can see that we had the first H1 wave, so I'm going to change the color to yellow. So that it will be easier for you to see. And then the second one and the last one. So this is now proof for us that we now had three waves of the H1 within this H4 wave. So this is how it basically looks on the H4 time frame, whereby we have three H1 waves within one H4 wave. So what are we now anticipating? We are trying to say that the daily wave cycle is completed. This is what we are trying to say, that this daily wave is completed. Therefore, we now have the first wave, the second wave, and the third wave. And on the third wave, we are now anticipating to see the market going above. So where are we going to reach? It's another that will come in another video. So this is the anticipated move. So that is basically what you'll be doing to predict where the market is going to go next, and to actually predict and give proper anticipations of where you are expecting it to go. So we come to the end of this video. If you haven't checked our Telegram free signals Telegram channel, the link is right below. Have a good day.